Welcome to your weekly UAS news update. We have 4 stories for you this week. The FCC finds 8 alleged DJI front companies. That's an interesting story. The police department drone feed was also exposed live on the internet for 6 months. And then BRINC raises $125 million. And then lastly, Duke Health has drones that now fly defibrillators to real calls in the wild. So let's get to it. And first up this week, the FCC has proposed $25,000 fines against 8 different companies that it suspects of selling rebranded DJI hardware in the United States. Now, these brands include Skyrover and Extra Technology. Here's the important nuance here. Those fines are not actually for the hardware itself, at least not yet. They're straight up for just ignoring the FCC official letters of inquiry that they sent back in May, asking whether the companies are marketing equipment that is tied to DJI, and because DJI is on the covered list. Now, none of them have responded, so all 8 of them have until July 20th to finally answer, and if they don't, then the FAA has already given itself the authority to revoke existing equipment authorization entirely, which would mean that import and marketing bans would apply. We're going to be watching this one closely because we know some of you might be flying some of these brands. Next up, the San Francisco Police Department left some live video from 5 of its Skydio surveillance drones fully exposed to the open internet for about 6 months. 2 outside security researchers stumbled upon the feed last month, reported it, and then it came down within days. But by then, they had already archived over 48 hours of real operations. We're talking about color and thermal videos here, live GPS tracking, and even the name and email of 6 of the SFPD drone pilots. The cause here was a Skydio sharing link that was created with no password and then also a 1-year expiration. Now, later, this was picked up by some public archive that usually just kind of scrub, web addresses. Now, the footage showed full missions from takeoff to landing, including officers that were filming through apartment windows, and then also a drone that was tailing 2 guys who turned out to be just basically going to play basketball. This appears to be a direct contradiction with SFPD's own policy, which requires minimizing incidental recording. When the entire UAS industry seems to be hyper-focused on our foreign adversaries, it looks like a simple misconfigured link right here is exposing all of the data that those foreign adversaries are allegedly trying to collect themselves. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of this one next, but yeah, not good. Speaking of drone responding to 911 calls, BRINC has raised $125 million in a round that was led by Motorola Solutions that is pushing its total funding past $250 million. Now, the goal here is a drone as a first responder on the roof of every single one of the roughly 80,000 police and fire stations that are in the country. Motorola invested in BRINC back in 2025, and that relationship lets an officer basically launch a BRINC drone from a button that is on the Motorola radio, or one that is being dispatched automatically the second that the 911 call comes in. BRINC says the revenue tripled last year and that contract signings are up nearly 4 times. On a similar topic, Duke Health researchers are now flying drones with defibrillators to real 911 calls. That's in Clements, North Carolina. When a 911 dispatcher takes a cardiac arrest call, the drone is going to launch alongside with the ambulance, cruise at about 200 feet, and then drop to 100 feet over the scene, and then winch down an AED all the way while the dispatcher coaches the bystander on the phone to actually use the AED. Now, the math here is actually pretty brutal. An AED that is used within the first 2 to 3 minutes of collapse is going to push survival rates towards 70%, but ambulance typically take 8 to 10 minutes to arrive. So that gap is actually the perfect opportunity for a drone. Now, the program actually delivered its first real-world AED back in November of 2025. I think we actually talked about this in news updates, and it's now running a standard procedure on live calls. So if the results hold up right here, this could be really normal across the country, and I hope it does. This is a great way to use drone delivery, quite frankly. And the conversation is going to continue on post-flight, where we're going to talk about the stories uncensored in the premium community. Link is in the description. We'll see you in the live Q&A on Monday. Actually, I'm not going to be there. We'll be in Oshkosh. Vic will be in the live Q&A. And then I think Ben is going to be doing a news update next week. So we'll see you when we come back. You have a great weekend. And again, don't be that guy.